being fat is costing you millions. I hope you clicked on this video either offended or ready for me to ruffle some feathers, or just really kind of intrigued on what I'm going to say in this video. You can obviously kind of gauge an idea of what I'm going to say, but I think I've done enough of these where I can start to get a little bit controversial and trigger a couple people, because I think the more people I trigger, the better. Realistically, I am just going to cause a lot of problems. The thing is that there's a key word before I started recording as well. I actually put being out of shape is costing you millions before, but now I put fat, just because I feel like the people that click on this video based on that title is the people I need to try help. And for those who don't know, my name is Ryan McIntyre. I'm going to go into what I do later on in the video, but for now I'm going to just provide you some sweet value. So let's dive in and let's understand why I'm doing this and why I'm probably going to annoy 80% of people, but 20% of people will hopefully kind of get where I'm coming from. So, important before we start is that you might think being out of shape just means feeling sluggish, gaining a few extra pounds, or nothing kind of major, it's very light, or just struggling with confidence. You think it's not a big deal. However, what if I told you it's also costing you millions, or potentially costing you millions? The way you take care of your body affects your income, your career, your opportunities, and even how people perceive you. Another thing I should mention is that although the background is see-through, you can kind of see it glitching a bit. I am going to be covering a little bit of the wording, but it's not really for you guys to read. Again, you can read along if you want. It's more of a prompt for my mind to say the right things at the right time, and then it allows me to go on a tangent. So although the information on here isn't really that important, it's more about what comes out of my mouth and what you interpret from that, because that's the best way. That's how I feel like I present the best. But I might sometimes move my head so you can read. If you're not taking action, or if you're not taking your health seriously, you're leaving money, success, and a better future on the table. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly why. Again, you still don't know who I am, but you will figure it out. I assume if you have clicked on this video, you've maybe seen a couple other bits I've done. Maybe you follow me on Instagram, or maybe the title's caught your eye and you're thinking, this is a bit of me, I need to watch this. Who am I to speak on this topic though? One key thing is, before you guys comment saying, oh, like, you're not a millionaire, or like, oh, like, how do you know if it's cost you millions when you were fat before, but like whatever, like, you know what I mean? Although I have had no experience in having millions yet, I'm joking, but it's more, in terms of when I say millions, it's more your time and health is going to be a lot more than material possessions. So I think having more time and having better health is actually worth billions. In terms, like, there is certain people, like millionaires and billionaires, that are 70, 80, that would pay every single penny that they have now to be in, for example, my position. And that's not like arrogance from me, but being 20, having, I would say, good enough health, obviously being able to train, walk every day, obviously having shelter and stuff. They've obviously got shelter, but being able to train every day, being able to walk everywhere, and just overall being healthy and not having any sort of health problems yet. Obviously, I touch words because I don't want to have, no one wants to have health problems, but the idea is that you can have all the money in the world, but you would still trade it to be in the position that you are now. Or like when you're 70, 80 on your deathbed and have all the money in the world, you're gonna want to trade it to be 20 again, or be 25, or even 30. Like, people think they have a lot less time than they do, but the compound effect allows you to take action over a slow amount of time and still get the results. One key thing is that I didn't always have this mindset. When I was 18, I was skinny and I had no clue how to train in the gym, no nutrition knowledge, no confidence. I used to think fitness was just about getting abs or looking good on holiday, but over time, I realized it's a lot bigger than that, and I actually became a lot bigger than that as well, because like I said, I was fat. Like, I bulked up like crazy because I hated being skinny, so I bulked up like 20 kg in literally like 6 months. Ridiculous bulk. And I wouldn't suggest anyone do that, especially if you can't see your abs now. Bulking is great if you do it correctly and you lean bulk, because mine, I just ended up looking a lot bigger. I was like 88 kg, not as much muscle as well. Like, you see these people who are 88, 90 kg, 95, 100 kg, that obviously have a lot more muscle maturity because they've been training for a lot more years. I just thought if I get to that weight quick enough, it's going to be easy enough for me. But once I started focusing on my fitness, everything else fell into place. My confidence, my mindset, my opportunities, everything, and eventually my income. Obviously, I now coach. I haven't really... there's a banner on my YouTube that says I'm an online fat loss coach. Again, this is something I always wanted to do, especially ever since I started the gym myself. It makes it easier to teach other people to get the same results I got, and it's not even that just for the money as well. I know a lot of people is like, oh, it's my passion, like I dreamed it. Like, I'm not gonna lie, obviously the money's a big plus, but I don't need money. I'm not broke. I don't need to do this for the money. You know what I mean? Like, I'm doing it because I enjoy it and it gives me money as well. So it's like, it's a win-win. So what is actually my goal then, for those who don't know me? We'll get a quick introduction. If you're new here, my name is Ryan McIntyre. I coach men, mostly in their 20s and 30s, just because I relate to them the most. That doesn't mean I only predominantly coach them. A lot of people tell me, like, do you only coach these people? No, I advertise to these to this age range and to obviously men because I relate to them and I've had their problems. I've been in their shoes. Obviously, I still coach like women, still coach people older than that, because fat loss works a lot of the time for everybody. Obviously, I coach them to build muscle, get strong, and create lifelong habits that turn them into future role models for their families and kids. Because although you might not have any health problems now when you're 20 or 30, you are going to want to be at the tip-top health, well, literally the best health that you can possibly have when you do have kids, when you have families. Being able to obviously interact with them, chase them around the house or play football. It's super important that you actually take care of your health, because if you don't, just like that, everything can go. That's the main thing. But I'm learning as I go along, so please use what's helpful and forget the rest. Like I said, I'm only 20, so I have been training for 2.5 years. Not that long in the grand scheme of things. I do a lot of research, especially making these videos, being able to articulate my thoughts a little bit better by filming these. If you literally scroll down to my very first YouTube video, you can see a huge difference in how I articulate my thoughts and how I speak, and it just seems overall messy. Obviously, I'm getting better still. Like, I'm not saying it's amazing now, but you know what I mean. It's getting there. If you like what I have to say and you want to master your progress, send a DM to Ryan McIntyre Coaching on Instagram. Also drop me a follow, because I really could really appreciate that. I'm trying to grow, obviously, the Instagram. That's like my main contact point. And we can have a conversation about your situation to see if or how I can help, because I'd love to help create you a free muscle building blueprint. And for me, getting a coach was the single-handedly best investment I have ever made, in terms of not just my money back in terms of investment, but also like my future and the trajectory of where my life was going before I had a coach and then after. So I want to do the exact same for you. If that's even with me or a different coach, getting a coach is the biggest thing. Like, as long as you are actively going out reaching for help, that takes a lot of courage, but it will change your life. Enough for the plug, because I'm just at this point, I'm just shamelessly plugging. What will you actually cover in this video? So we'll cover why you're actually here, which is important, but then we'll go into the energy money connection, the confidence and first impressions make or break your income, because first impressions, although we hate to say it, it is massive in is massive in how you interact with people, especially like I think it's like the first like not even 30 seconds people decide on how they feel about you or how they think about you, especially in the way like your confidence and how you speak, how you use your voice to speak with people, or even like for example like body language or hand movements. The discipline success link, and my final message at the end, which you can see there as my massive head covers the screen. But why you actually are here on this video, so why have you clicked on this title, the thumbnail? I mean, the thumbnails are relatively the same. I don't do too much work on the thumbnails, mostly because although they're important, it's this is more of a place where you learn and not a place where you kind of get quick dopamine. That's another thing that's important. But if you're watching this, chances are you feel stuck in life. Maybe you're not where you want to be financially, or maybe you're struggling with motivation, or maybe you just don't feel like the man you know you can be, or feel like something is holding you back deep inside because you work hard, but for some reason the results aren't showing up. You keep wondering why certain guys seem to be winning at everything, and it's almost like I'm kind of going off script here, but it's like the iceberg. You see all the positives, the tip of the iceberg, you see everything that's going well for them, but you don't see all the things that they had to do to get to that point, or all the sacrifices they had to make under the iceberg. But you see them winning at everything: business, dating, career, life, while you feel like you're running in circles or just spinning wheels. Because I get it, I've been there if you relate, because the truth is, it all comes down to your habits, your energy, and the way you carry yourself. And that starts with starting to take care of your health with your fitness. I'm trying to move out of the way so you guys can see the writing, but I'm sure it's not that important. If you just kind of listen to what I say, hopefully you're getting the points. Like, especially if this is either on the podcast, the YouTube, this is important for you. But let's dive into the energy money connection. I forgot to change the title from the last video, so that just like developmental psychology isn't really important for this. But if you're constantly tired, sluggish, or unmotivated, how do you actually expect to perform at your best, not just for your work in terms of your financial decisions, but also for your family and your friends and your future kids? Because if you're not performing at your best, people know. Like, there's a weird thing in the back of the brain that people will know when you're not giving your all or performing at your best. High performance in businesses, CEOs, entrepreneurs, athletes. Athletes are obviously going to prioritize fitness, like that makes sense, but CEOs and entrepreneurs, just to give a couple examples, I do have one on the other side of the page, but you have like The Rock. I guess like he did wrestling, so his entire persona was to be in shape. But for example, like Mr. Beast, the biggest YouTuber on the planet, arguably the biggest content creator on the planet, started his fitness journey when he was pretty much working every hour of the day. So when you say you don't have enough time for fitness, I know you're bullshitting. Like, I don't want to be harsh, but I know you're taking the piss. Because if somebody at that level, that financial superstar level, having a crazy body transformation, dropping a crazy amount of weight, and you're saying you don't have enough time to do the same thing, you are lying to yourself. Because the reason why they all prioritize fitness is because it gives them energy and mental clarity to operate at an even higher level. And I have an example at the bottom. Think about a business meeting, who's getting the deal: the sharp, fit guy who commands respect, or the out-of-shape guy who looks exhausted and can barely stand up, or every time he stands up, he has to grab his jumper and go like this, or like this. Like, don't get me wrong, I used to be the same, so if you're watching this and you're annoyed at me, then like, I get it. But it's so visible, and when you notice it once, you keep noticing it over and over and over, and then you just become less of a person of authority, and everyone wants to be more authoritative. I think that's a very clear point. And the example I was talking about is Jeff Bezos. Again, if you don't know, literally like the owner of, or part owner of Amazon. He owns a small chunk, but he's obviously like the richest man, or was the richest man in the world. He's got mental amounts. Obviously a very hard worker. This is a very good photo, but as you can see, he's a little bit more skinnier here on the left when he's obviously building Amazon. And even after he's built Amazon to be the kind of powerhouse it is today, with obviously like Prime, with what else did they do? Like obviously the main Amazon source. They've done a bunch of different other stuff as well. Obviously they've all like there's been a couple of failures until what they've done. Very tried and tested. And then obviously you can see he's more jacked than me. Like the guy's crazy, especially having that big of a company and being able to get into that type of shape. There must be something in taking care of your health, and a lot of people do not realize that. They think it's just a luxury. And again, I've repeated the same thing. It's the next point. Sorry, confidence and first impressions make or break your income. So the importance of habits. First impressions matter. People judge you instantly based on how you look or move. Again, like I said, how you carry yourself, how you interact with other people, how you use your voice, how you speak to people, how you vocalize opinions. That all comes from obviously speaking, but also how people perceive you as a human being. Like I said, with first impressions, just the way you speak. Even like, although it's hard to admit, people will make opinions on you based on your accent. Or it's like if you hear someone speaking with a different accent, instantly they have these like social norms, or these beliefs that having that type of accent, you're not going to be as educated or as articulate. But if you're fit, strong, and confident, people assume you're going to be disciplined, capable, and a leader. It's just like, although people might not admit it, it's like if you see someone in shape, you realize they take care of themselves. They are dedicated to what they do. Like it is just in your mind. You don't even have to think about it. But if you're out of shape, overweight, and sluggish, people are going to assume you're lazy, undisciplined, and not in control of your life. Don't get me wrong, you might not be any of those things. But the idea is the position you are in now is going to affect how your life is going to go, like the trajectory of your life. And even if it's not your fault that you're in that situation, it's your responsibility. You've got to take life by the balls and actually do something about it. And at the bottom, I've put a stat here, but it doesn't really correlate as well. I'm going to try to bring it all together, but studies show that attractive, fit people earn more than 15% more on average than their overweight counterparts. Again, I don't know how you're going to compare that, but I'll kind of bring it all together. My story is that when I was younger, obviously my confidence was a lot more struck. Even just when I started making these videos, before I kind of started making money from coaching, you can see that I had no powerful energy, no way to push myself out into the world as such. I was a little bit scared, a little bit nervous, because filming by yourself, making these videos, seems a little bit weird, and it probably is still weird. But once you do it enough, and the way you sometimes maybe get messages from people saying that you've changed their life with content or with coaching, even if it's paid or free, it is ideal. And obviously, since I started the gym, I've obviously earned a lot more than I was earning 2 years ago. I was earning nothing. So anything more than that, I mean, is a big difference. And it's definitely more than 10 to 15%, that's for sure. But again, you just have to take that with a pinch of salt. And I've just put here is that confidence equals more opportunities. The more you put yourself out there, the more kind of good opportunities and good omen come back to you and reward you. It's all about putting yourself out into the world and putting what you want to achieve out into the world, and everything will kind of fall into place. So we have the discipline and success link as the final point, and then we're going to have the final message at the end. The link is that fitness teaches discipline, And if you can control what you eat, train consistently, and push through tough workouts, you can apply that same mindset to your career and finances. Because success isn't just about talent, it's about habits. Because if you build strong habits in the gym, you'll build them for business too. Example, the guy who wakes up early, hit the gym, sticks to a plan, they're usually the same guy that's going to be winning in business, relationships, and life. I'll be honest, I can't really preach for the relationships one in terms of romantic relationships. I am single, very much so, and it's not really something I've been pursuing. I am obviously 20. We need to get out there. Again, it's not something I'm too worried about. Again, it's more certain things are going to take over your life a little bit more, and I know it's about balance, but as long as you know that certain things will take priority and certain things won't, you can balance that out in the next year or next quarter, or as long as you know, you have an idea of what's going on. But is there another point I want to make on this slide? Not really. I think that's everything I want to cover realistically. Also, another thing, getting up early, earlier than what you're doing right now, would change your life as well. Like going to sleep early, waking up early, changes your life entirely. Because for me, especially, anything after 9-10 p.m, anything I was to do after that was not productive anyway. So it was like, why am I staying up at this time when I could just sleep and wake up earlier? And I do more productive things in the morning. Like making this video. I'm making this video in the morning, which I wouldn't do if I wouldn't have done if I was waking up later. So we have my final message and how I can actually help you. Also, key takeaways, super important, just so we can kind of wrap up in a summary. Being out of shape isn't just hurting your health, it is costing you money, opportunities, and success. If you lack energy, confidence, and discipline, you're simply falling behind. And to catch up, you're going to have to maybe do double the person that's in front of you, or triple, because if you're just copying what they do, they are still ahead of you. You're doing the exact same thing. They're going to be growing at the same rate, and so are you. Nothing will change. You will be the same length behind them. So you've got to do, maybe at the start, maybe just to catch up, double or triple what they're doing. And it might be a bit of a pain, but you'll be so thankful, because then you can take your foot off the gas a little bit further. And the good news is that you can fix it, and it all starts today. If you are hyped up from this video, and if you like what I have to say, then I want to let you have your opinion. So drop in a comment. If you've worked out in the gym for quite a while, and you feel like maybe this video was helpful, but you feel like it would be helpful for someone else, you can reply to a couple of the comments of the biggest things that are holding other people back. So kind of gym newbies or people that haven't started the gym, what is the biggest thing that's holding you back now? And then I will reply to all the comments, basically saying how to debunk that or how to squash that myth that's holding you back. Number 2 is just to hit the subscribe button for real no BS fitness content. It's free, and if you got to this point, then please, it would be very much appreciated. Although I have no financial gain for you hitting subscribe. I have no anything gain on YouTube. It's just more about dropping free value, because realistically, what is the worst that can happen if I just keep giving out free value? And if you really want to level up and smash your fitness goals in 2025, and you feel like that getting a coach could be the biggest and best financial investment you could ever make, send a DM to my Instagram at Ryan McIntyre Coaching, saying free for some free coaching to try it out, and then we can kind of get into the nitty-gritty about long-term coaching. And I have one more message, I think, on the last slide, like I have in the last video, and I think I'm going to have it in every single video. Your future self will thank you for starting today. If you enjoyed this one, drop a like, hit subscribe, do all the good stuff, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed, and peace.